So we're back, and I have the head off now. It was a bit of a job, just got a bit stuck and messy because I coated everything in oil to make sure that nothing was going to rust on me when I was sitting here. So I'll just straighten up the piston now so we can get this on. Ooh. So that's up top dead center now. Oh, this is getting messy. I've decided that I'm going to try and put two seals on this, as one just doesn't fill it out enough. So I'm going to try two. Musty one had to use two also, so that's what I'm going to do. And Musty also used an extra gasket down on the bottom here because the piston was hitting the top of the valve just a tiny bit. It wasn't enough to do any damage, but it was clipping it, so he put in an extra gasket on the bottom, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. So sticking this extra gasket on now. It just gives you that little bit extra. Now, when I was taking this engine home, a friend of mine went to lift it out of the trailer, and unfortunately he dropped it, and there was no head in the engine at the time when it came back here, so he did manage to do a little bit of damage and bend one of these bolts here, this one. So as you can see, it's causing me a little bit of hassle trying to get stuff down on it now. Hopefully it won't affect the way that it tightens up. I don't think it will. It wasn't very badly bent. It's just a little bit of bending in it. Just let me get my cam chain through here, through the gasket. That's done. So now we're in better shape. I'll just get this to sit down. Yeah, we're in better shape now. Just doesn't want to fit 100% perfect. I hope it's not going to cause me any issues. End up starving the head of oil. By the way, I'm very new to restoring bikes, and this is only the third bike maybe I've done, and this is the biggest bike I've ever done, and it's only a 125. So most of the other bikes I did were 50s. I did one C70 and I got locked out of my YouTube channel then, so if you go to I can't remember the name of the channel now that I had on it. I'll tell you later on when I find out. But you'll see it anyway. It's a 70, Honda 70. And I done a lovely job on it. But it wasn't that bad when I got it at first anyway, you know. So I've got my seals here, and there was one particular seal that I was waiting on for all that time. And I wasn't able to do anything else with the bike until I got this. And I think I have it here, and this is it. That one piece held me back by about a couple of months because I ordered pieces and then they didn't turn up and all of that stuff, so it was that one piece was holding me back from everything. Unbelievable. So it's going on now onto the head. You can see that's where it goes, just on the bottom there. Help seal things up a bit. I only have one guide pin. There should be at least 2, maybe 3, but I'm missing them, so I'm gonna have to just take my chances and hope that it works. Okay, engine head going back on, or cylinder, sorry. So it's a bit fidgety because I have to get this all lined up on the bolts, and I have to get the piston in the right place, the tensioner in the right place, and the cam chain through the hole as well. So it's awkward, a bit difficult. These pistons tend to push in themselves if you push enough at them, but they can be awkward. And this one has decided this evening that it is going to be awkward. I've not had trouble with it before trying to get it put in. Oh no, just lost my guide. There it is on the floor. That's the place for it. I'll just leave it there for now in case I lose it again. So, there we go. We have it. We have it. We're not down the full yet though. Something's holding it back. Hopefully not that cam chain. It's down a fair bit now, but yeah, that's it. That's it. Keep everything nice and clean. Okay, so we've got this far. I'm going to do the next piece in the next video. So just bear with me and I'll be back in a moment. Okay, so next part of the video. I've just got the head or the cylinder back on. That's your guide, cam chain. As you can see, I've got a good gasket here, and I've took that single O-ring off and I've put down, this will focus, I've got 2 O-rings in there now, 2 very small O-rings. You can see them just sitting proud. They're just sitting a little bit proud of the gasket, which is what I wanted. So when it compresses, it will seal it up, hopefully. And the next part now is I'm going to put on the engine head. So wish me luck with that. And this time I have to put in the little guide that goes in here as well. There's a little guide this side, a little plastic one. Not going to be simple. But sure, look, what is. Let me just put these over here. Give you a bit of a view of what's going on. Don't know if the lighting's better there or worse. I turned the light that I had on the phone off because I thought it was working better. I hope to sort something out better for you, for again, even light in here. Anything to make the video just a little bit better. So I'm just going to stick a little block of wood in front of the phone here, stop it from falling over. Bring it back up. Sorry, I know this is very unprofessional, but I'm new to all this. I'm not that new to YouTube, but I've never really covered a whole bike build that I've done. I usually prefer to just work away on my own. But this is a special bike, and I thought it was worth videoing. I don't know if that light's better or worse for you, but it's there. So now I've got my seal down on the bottom of the cylinder, and I'm going on to the next piece. Now, as you'll see, my shed is an absolute mess. There's no space in here to keep anything really. That's a clutch gasket that I bought. I have to look. I thought the clutch was not working on this, but I found out that if you press it hard enough, it does actually go further than and it is actually pushing the clutch, so I just wasn't giving it enough pressure. So I have a box here, and this is the way I got the bike. Just a bucket of parts, that's all I got. So what you're seeing is what I saw the day that I got the bike in the first place. Just boxes and boxes, and I've bagged some of it now. But this is what I got, and there's a rake of oil in the bottom of this bucket. He just fired everything into this bucket, and probably hoping that the oil would keep it right, you know. I've got a ball of parts here, and I don't know what anything belongs to. They're things that I bought that the bike needs. These are resistors, but I don't know if they're going to work, so they're not the correct ones for the bike. You cannot get the correct ones for the bike anymore. They were ballast resistors for the headlight, and that was more of them little dome nuts. More resistors. I got a load of types of resistors in case one didn't work. More dome nuts. But this is what I was given, and a lot of the bolts are took out of it now because I was trying to figure out where they went, and they have some cleaning up to do on this. But anyway, after all the oil that's in there, look at the rust. And there's a spring sitting there, do you see it? I haven't a clue where it goes. I have no idea where it could have come out of. And there doesn't appear to be, I've looked at charts and stuff, it doesn't appear to show where it goes, so that'll be an interesting one. Hopefully I don't do any damage to the bike by building it the way I am, but there you go. Right, so this is the part I was looking for. It's a plastic piece. It sits down in here. I think that I have it the right way around here. So just give me a second, I'll put you over here. Put my bucket of parts back together, just so I don't lose anything. New headlight that I bought. Didn't really need it. All I needed was the piece on the back with the bulb. But I couldn't find any on the internet, so I found this light and I says, well, I'll have a spare anyway, so why not? But every part I seem to go to buy for this bike ends up costing me a clean fortune, simply because of Brexit and because of where I have to buy them. All these parts always seem to be in England. Yeah, this does go in here, but I'm not sure how exactly. Here we go. Yeah, that's it. It's in. Can you see that? Just about. You want me to zoom you in? Zoom you in a little bit and bring up the phone. Maybe a bit more if you want. This is terrible. I'm gonna have to get a stand for my phone or something to work with. I can show you better. I'll have to zoom you out a bit again. That's too much. It just makes everything twice as hard as it has to be, you know. Right, that'll have to do is because that's all I got. Right, head going on. Hello, engine head. Is it clean? Probably could do with a rub, you know. I'd say it's okay. It doesn't look too bad. I'll know soon enough. Right, so I have to get my cam chain up in here. Yeah. Right, there's my rope anyway. Not great. It's usually just my luck that things wouldn't exactly go my way. Sure, everyone has that complaint, don't they? Yeah, in Ireland we call it Murphy's Law. Anything that can go wrong will go wrong. Right, that's the engine head on. And then you have to, nope, don't forget about this. This is your tensioner for your cam chain. You have to put that in there and screw it on. It's so good to be doing this, hopefully, for the final time. Because I've put this on and off so many times. You wouldn't believe. And it was just out of sheer excitement, wanting to get the thing done and not being able to do anything with it. So I will probably paint this engine up. You'll see that I'm missing the sprocket cover, and it's an absolute terrible hard thing to get for this bike. These bikes just don't exist in England anymore by the looks of things, and any that do come up, it's never the casings or the engine or that, anything that comes up for it. So I had to use my brains for once, and I said to myself, you know, India is a place where a lot of our rubbish would go to. Old cars, old bikes, and India's full of bikes anyway. You know, they mad about these Honda bikes. So I tried to find a few Indian sites, bike breakers maybe, or some things like that, and I was unsuccessful in finding them. But what I was successful in doing was finding a site where a lot of Indian guys, a club, it was like a club where a lot of Indian guys had Honda twins, CB twins, and I got on to some of the guys there, and I asked them, would there be any chance that any of them would have one of these bikes sitting around that they'd sell me a few parts from. So this guy comes on and he shows me that he has one of them. It's in pretty bad condition, and he said he'd sell me the whole bike, but I said I can't take a whole bike from Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka is where I found the parts. From Sri Lanka to Ireland, it'd just be too costly. So I asked him would he take the full price for the bike and send me the parts that I need, because I'm really that desperate for them that's what I was willing to do. And he said he would, but he's not got back to me yet. He was trying to sort out how we might get them posted to me, and he's not got back to me yet on it. So fingers crossed I've got the bits I need, but we'll just have to see. Right, so there's, hold on a second now, there was problems before. Yes, I have that bolt in. Make sure that you put that bolt in before you do anything else, because you won't get the bolt in after the head's on, after the cam's put in. I know another guy made that mistake. Now I'm just over here looking for a spanner wrench. Don't think that's the right size. I think it's a 10. That's way too big. I'll use my sockets. By the way, do you see these sockets that I got in Lidl, of all places? Parkside sockets are actually very good quality. I'm very surprised. There's great weight in them, and they've done a lot of work for me, and I'm in no fear of them breaking when I'm trying to do this sort of thing. So do you know what, I don't even know if a socket's going to tighten that. It might. I'll actually tighten that once I've tightened down the head. Do you know that? Yeah, I think that's the best option. I don't want the head to be off. Tension on one side. So let's get the cam and put it in. So apparently with this, why is that stuck down there now? Please don't tell me that I'm going to have to take this head off again to get this chain out. It's not looking good. Yeah. Why, oh why? Something's going on. I don't know what it is. It might be all wrapped up in I think when I was touring that to get the piston right, I might have wrapped up the chain in the crankshaft. So I'll just have to give it a wee tug. I have to loosen this bolt up again and lift the head off. All part of the learning process, isn't it? Right, that's that. I'll have to take it off again, guys. Let's see what's going on here. Yeah, it's wrapped. Oh boy. Guys, you're just going to have to give me a minute till I get this loosened up. Sorry. Back in a moment.